Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing plantain porridge, and it's very similar to the banana porridge that I did on my channel earlier. So I'm just going to show you what we are doing here. So we have some green plantains here, and we have, this is the coconut milk that I'm using today to blend the plantain with. Alright, so I already have 3 cups of water on the stove, so I'm quickly going to peel these green plantains and get them into the blender because the water is already boiling in the stove, on the stove I should say. Alright, so as I said, it's very similar to the green plantain. It's the same process, blending the plantain with some milk and then throwing it in the pot and allowing it to boil. Alright, but I've been getting requests about plantain porridge and how do we do it, so I'm just going to go ahead and demonstrate. So I'm peeling the green plantain now, and as you can see, it's really simple to do. You cut the tops off, cut the bottom, and then you go ahead and remove the skin. Now sometimes you still have a little bit that is left on it. You can just run the knife over it and cut that section off. Alright, so that's simply cut the tops off, cut the bottom off, run the knife down the middle of the plantain, kind of take your time to lift off the skin, right? Knife down and then run your finger through it and peel off the skin. That's simple how it's done, just like that. Nothing is hard, nothing too hard. As I said, sometimes if parts of the skin is refusing to lift off, sometimes they're kind of stuck to it. All you do is just use your knife and peel it off. Alright, so these are the green parts. I'm just going to peel it off with the knife. So I'm going to be using, I think I'm going to be using 2 plantains. I'm not going to use the third one. I'm just going to use these 2. Or maybe I should use it. Alright, let me use the 3. I'm finished. So these are not large plantains, these are medium-sized plantains. So if you have very large plantains, you can probably only use 2. But since these are medium-sized, I'm going to use 3 plantains. Alright? Alright, so I'm just finished peeling the plantain. Alright, and peeling off the skin. Simple, guys, not too hard. As I said, if you can't peel it like us, you can cut off the skins from the different sections if that makes it easier for you. There's no one way, it's just this is how we were taught to peel them. Alright, so we're going to go ahead now and cut them up into the blender. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and pour the 2 cups of water into the blender. Just like that, and I'm just going to cut up the plantains and drop them in here. That's it. Just making big chops and cutting them and letting them drop in the milk. Simple, just like that. Alright, once we put them, we chop all of them and put them in the blender. We're then going to blend them all together. And remember, just like the banana porridge, we're then going to pour them into the boiling water that is already on the stove. Alright, so that is it. Pop the top off onto the blender, and then we're going to go ahead and start blending this together. Guys, so I'm gonna go and continue blending it. It has been blending for about 45 seconds already, but I want to ensure that everything in there has been properly processed, completely blended, because we don't want chunks of plantain in our porridge. Look at that. You see how thick it is already? Let me just show you how thick it already is. So just look at this. Look at that. It's already getting really thick, but I just want to ensure that it's completely blended. So I'm going to go ahead and blend it for probably another 30 to 45 seconds. All right, so I'm gonna put the top back on, and I'm gonna go ahead and blend it again. Alright guys, so it's finished blending. Now, as I said, the water on the stove is already hot and boiling, and just for to note, I sprinkled a little bit of salt in the pot. Alright, remember I said that it is always good to add salt to your pot, just a sprinkle though, please don't put too much in there. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and take the porridge, the plantain mixture, and we are going to pour it into our boiling water. Now once you pour it in, you're going to need to get your spatula to go ahead and start mixing, because you really don't want to start creating clumps in the porridge. So you want to ensure that you are mixing it once you pour it in. Alright, because it's going to start getting thick immediately. Alright. Alright guys, so I'm going ahead and stirring and mixing the porridge together. Now we still had some residue left in the blender, so I just poured 1 cup of water in it, and I'm basically just mixing it, removing it so we can use it, because we want to use up all of that goodness from the plantain. So I just have this here. I've now turned the stove. When I was boiling the water, the stove was on high. Once I've poured in the plantain mixture, I turned it down to medium. Alright, so we're waiting on it to start boiling again. So we're going to go ahead and pour the remaining of the mixture into the pot. And we're just going to allow that to start coming together. Now, as I said, we're going to continue to mix it here, because remember, as we said before, we don't want lumpy porridge. So we're mixing all of that together, because all of those is going to come together. Now, just as before, you want to continue stirring until it starts to get really thick. Once it starts getting really thick, then we're going to turn the fire down to low, cover it with the pot cover, and then leave it to boil for about 10 to 15 minutes. Oh my gosh guys, you know what I forgot to put in? I forgot to drop in my cinnamon leaf. Oh. So I'm just gonna go ahead and drop 2 cinnamon leaves into the pot right now. Should have been in there all this time boiling, but it's okay, it still get a chance to come together. Now, persons have been asking, if you don't have cinnamon leaf, guys, if you don't have cinnamon leaf, you can use the cinnamon stick, or you can just use the regular old cinnamon. The reason I don't really like using it in the porridge is because I don't want it to change the color of the porridge. I just want the taste. So whether you have cinnamon stick, you use that. If you don't, just use the regular old cinnamon. Alright guys, you notice? Really thick, which is the consistency we're looking for. Alright guys, so you see it has gotten really thick. I've just let it sit there for about 2 minutes, and it's gotten really thick. You see that? Very thick. Now That is what we want, because just like all my porridges, once it gets to this consistency, it's thick but it's not too thick. I am going to go ahead and cover it, put it on low, and I'm going to go ahead and cover it with the pot cover and allow it to boil. So I'm turning the fire all the way down, and then I'm going to cover it with its cover and allow it to go ahead and continue boiling. Now, as I said, we're going to leave it for about 15 minutes to completely boil, but every 5 minutes I'm going to come and check that. Alright guys, so it's been about 5 minutes. It's really thick and coming together nicely. As I said, we're going to stir every 5 minutes just to ensure that everything is coming together nicely. Alright guys, look at that. Wow, it looks so good guys, and it already smells so amazing. So we're just gonna let it boil for another 10 minutes. So in another 5 minutes we're gonna come back and do this again and just stir it up to ensure that everything is coming together nicely. Alright guys, so it's been more than 5 minutes. It's been about 8 minutes, and this is what it looks like. Still bubbling, going away. So we're gonna leave it for probably another 4 minutes to continue to boil. Now I just want you to look at the consistency. Look at that. Look at how it just runs. You notice how it's thick and nice. That is what you're looking for in your porridge. Remember to turn your heat on low, the lowest that it can go, because you really don't want it to burn. You want it to just continue to come together and for the plantain to cook. Alright, but guys, if you notice, we don't put anything in it to thicken the porridge. Once you completely blend out that plantain, it will thicken it itself. You just ensure that you don't add too much liquid to it. I always say, persons, it's best you add a little at first and then gradually add if you need more. And remember, we don't want it too thin, because we're going to add the condensed milk afterwards to sweeten the porridge. Alright, now for those of you who don't want, you don't have to use the condensed, because remember, it's coconut milk we use, but this is not going to be very sweet. So if you want to have it that way, no problem. Alright guys, so at this point, as I said, I'm going to probably leave it for now, probably another 3 minutes, as we've been mixing it here. And then we're going to go ahead and spice it up with the nutmeg and the vanilla, and then we're going to add the condensed milk to it. Alright guys. Alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and spice it up. Now we have nutmeg here and a little grater, so we're gonna grate our nutmeg in. Remember guys, I told you I don't really measure these things, so I had a half of a small nutmeg left, and I'm grating all of it into the pot. Alright guys. And I'm going to use some vanilla that I have. I have this clear vanilla from Sir Henry. Alright. And we're going to go ahead and mix that together. Guys, you should smell it. Once you put in that vanilla, it was already smelling good from just the plantain and the milk, but when you put that vanilla and nutmeg in, oh, it smells so good. Alright guys, so we are finished here. So what I'm gonna do, you know, I normally turn off my stove when I'm going to sweeten my porridge, so I'm turning off the stove. And we are going to go ahead and use good old Betty. Today I have Betty condensed milk. I like the Nestle, but Betty works too. I think I like the Nestle one because it's a little more thicker in consistency, and I kind of like that, but that would be Betty's just fine too. So guys, I'm just opening the condensed milk and we are gonna pour it into the porridge and, you know, mix it together to ensure that it's all fully incorporated while we sweeten our porridge. Now, depending on how much porridge it is that you make, you're probably going to use about 1 can, a can and a half. So this is about a half of the can I've used so far in the porridge. So I'm going to mix it all together and see what it tastes like. Now you see, when you put too much liquid in, once you add the condensed milk, then it's going to get even thinner. And you don't want it to be too runny, which is one of the reasons, guys, I ensure that I don't put too much liquid in it at first, because I don't want, when I'm through putting in the condensed milk, then it is super watery. You still want it to have that thick, nice, look at that consistency, guys. I'm just continuing to mix to ensure that we fully incorporated everything and it's all mixed together properly. Guys, I just love when my porridge looks silky and nice, and that's what it looks like. Look at that. Oh Jesus, it's so lovely, guys, trust me. Just continue mixing probably for another 10 seconds, 10-15 seconds, and then we're gonna go ahead and plate it, pour it in our bowl. All right, that's it. That is our porridge, guys, all done. So let's plate. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and pour our porridge into our bowls. Just look at that, guys. And that's it, guys. Now, I was having a discussion with a friend of mine. Alright, guys, you see that steam coming out? Sorry about that. I was saying before that I was having a discussion with a friend of mine, and they're saying that that everybody use crackers on their porridge. Some persons use bread. So for that person, we have some bread here, whole wheat bread. I don't eat white bread, so we have some whole wheat bread here. And just like when you crush up the crackers, you pick up the bread and you put it on top of the porridge. Now, I do know that some Jamaicans are team bread and some Jamaicans are team crackers. So in the comments below, let me know if you're team bread or team crackers. Just the same. So we just take bread, guys, and just pick it and put it on top of the porridge. This is what we normally do. Regular Jamaican thing. And to be honest, I do it with bread sometimes, but I prefer it with crackers. Alright, so my friend, there we go. We have team bread today. Alright, guys, so just look at the steam coming out of that. It is so delicious, guys. Look at that. Alright, guys, so that is our porridge today. There's our bread. Still have some left in the pot. And you know, as per usual, that's gonna end up in our stomachs. But guys, that is our porridge for today. Plantain porridge, really easy and simple. So there you have it. Alright, thanks so much, guys, for watching. And remember, guys, to like, share and subscribe to my channel, guys. Go ahead and press the notification bell as well, so that you are notified every time I put out new content, guys. So thanks again, loves, and we'll see you in the next video.